before no one.
I stepped in the theaters expecting the
Hierarchy of power in the DC universe about to change.
just kidding. After I saw the ratings critics gave to this movie, I only wanted it to prove them wrong. And it did. The rating it has on IMDb right now is 7.3, which is fair according to me. First of all, let's answer the question that every fan of the character had. Did Dwayne The Rock Johnson did justice to Black Adam? I will say he kinda did. While it still felt like The Rock was playing The Rock, but you can see that he genuinely tried this time. He tried to give the fans Black Adam they wanted, and in some scenes it did felt like Black Adam the character, but in other scenes the aura of The Rock overshadows the character. He's been involved with this character since 2007. That was 15 years ago, and now that he finally got to make this movie, I am sure he didn't wanted it to be weak and boring. His dedication to the project paid off, and promotion as well. They literally promoted this movie in the end of the League of Super Pets. This is an action-packed, entertaining movie, but it has some flaws too. We will discuss both, but I will say I think it's a big accomplishment for The Rock because he made a whole movie that didn't had any major scene in jungle. The action is the highlight of this movie. Like I said, it's an action-packed movie. If you're looking for a good action movie to watch, definitely check out Black Adam. It won't bore you because it has so many action scenes that you will enjoy watching on big screens. The very first fight of Black Adam was incredible and it did great job of showcasing his strength and powers. The action choreography was good and the action set pieces were outstanding. The only action scene that I didn't like was one in the third act that took place on a base underwater. The amount of times they used slow motion in that fight scene was jarring. While the scene as whole was good as something important was happening and two different fights were happening at the same time, but the underwater base fight became really weak with the overuse of slow motion. Also, one big reason these action set pieces worked was the great CGI. It made the action scenes more believable. So respect to the CGI team of this movie cause their work made this movie work. It has so many large scale action scenes like giant statues are falling, buildings are falling, flying chases. It all would have been distracting like this if the CGI work wasn't so well done.
The hierarchy of power in the DC universe. Doesn't matter! The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Talking about the characters, I think the best character in this movie was Dr. Fate. Pierce Brosnan's acting made the character really interesting. And as most reviewers mentioned, he is not copy of Doctor Strange. His first appearance in comics was way before Doctor Strange. And even if we ignore comics, I think two characters with similar powers or similar character traits can coexist. Like Quicksilver and Flash, or Batman and Daredevil. Anyways, despite this being Justice Society's first appearance in DCU, I think they handled Dr. Fate and Hawkman really well. Though I think Atom Smasher and Cyclone were unnecessarily added. They did nothing, they were not needed in the movie. I mean, the actors tried their best, but really, there was no need for Atom Smasher or Cyclone in this movie. And Aldis Hodge was really good as well. The friendship between Dr. Fate and Hawkman was the only thing that made me feel any emotion. Because while this movie is entertaining, it has good action scenes, good CGI, and decent acting all around. The biggest problem with this movie is that it is devoid of any depth and emotions. There's not much character development done, and you don't really root for any character. The backstory of Black Adam could have been done so much better. We got a sad scene of Black Adam's past and The Rock explaining the whole thing in a voiceover. And honestly, I felt nothing in that moment, even though it is supposed to be character making moment. The moment that explains why Black Adam became Black Adam, and I felt nothing. And the whole story itself was nothing new. It was nothing unique. It just felt like every other superhero movie, but with an anti-hero. And as his backstory isn't explained well, the villain from the past wasn't well explained as well, and that made the villain in present weaker. To be honest, villain in the end was no threat to Black Adam at all.
Now, this is a man that knows how to...
Hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Anyways, I would have loved to see more villainous side of Black Adam. an R-rated Black Adam who really doesn't care. He was still an anti-hero in the start, but he didn't hesitate to kill. But by the end, he became anti-hero with morals. And I think I understand why they would make him like this. Of course, they would want Dwayne Johnson to be an active part of DCU. He brings so much to the table and everyone likes Dwayne Johnson, right? He attracts great box office results, so they obviously want him to appear in more movies as a helper rather than in 1 or 2 movies as a villain. And the mid-credit scene of this movie opened up so many possibilities for the future of Black Adam. We can have Shazam vs Black Adam, or Superman vs Black Adam, or Black Adam with Justice League. I'm just excited to see where he goes from here. It will be interesting. Anyways, another thing that I liked in this movie was, despite the tone of this movie being serious and dark, they managed to add some actual funny jokes and bits in between. And it worked, especially in the first half. Overall, Black Adam is a really enjoyable movie that has some flaws, but its pros cover for those. And I will say this is another win for DC this year, after Peacemaker, The Batman, and even Leagues of Super Pets. Quality wise, DC is ahead of Marvel this year. But I only compared these two for reference. I will say this might be the best time for superhero fans. If Marvel can bring back its quality and DC can deliver consistently, superhero fans have every kind of show and movie they can ask for. If we are fan of R-rated stuff, then you have The Boys, Invincible, Peacemaker, The Suicide Squad. If you want something R-rated that Martin Scorsese will watch, then you have Joker, Logan. And if you want something PG that is dark and violent, you have Black Adam's Werewolf by Night, Multiverse of Madness. And if you're looking for something more cinematic, watch The Batman. The fans of kid-friendly movies have League of Super Pets, Shazam, Venom, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man. And female superheroes have their own projects like Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. If you like just mediocre or bad superhero stuff, watch Morbius or Suicide Squad. The reason I named all these superhero movies or shows is to remind everyone that maybe DC or Marvel may deliver bad projects, but you still have so much to select from. You can watch these and still have good time. So watch whatever you like and enjoy your life. It doesn't matter what critics say about it as long as you are enjoying it. And on that positive note, I will end my rambling. If you like the video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you have already watched Black Adam, comment below your thoughts. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about.
Stop it. Get some help.